You serious?
So this is How to Kill an Hour. There's plenty of ways to kill some time out there. I'm Funk Butcher.
It's me, Marcus.
No, I'm Marcus Bronzy.
I'm Funk Butcher.
This is How to Kill an Hour. Welcome to the show. On today's episode, we've got a guest called Swiss. You and Swiss have done some work together, haven't you?
Yes, we have. Got a new track out now.
Yeah, so in a few moments, we'll be hopping into a conversation that we had that kind of spans the oxymorons and the that your song covers, and kind of the interesting world that we're in at the moment with social media. It's a good one. I look forward to letting you hear that. But first things first, let's talk about how we've been killing time recently. Shall I go first, Funk, this time?
No, I want to go first.
Okay, yeah, you go first then. Okay. How you been killing time recently,
I've been killing some time rather on the PS4. We have two games.
Two games?
Yeah, two games.
What's the first one?
The first game is called Devil May Cry 5.
DMC5, baby.
Yeah, I don't know where I was for the previous four, but I'm here for Devil May Cry 5. Such a tongue twister.
Brother, Devil May Cry 5. DMC5. Just call it DMC, baby.
Well, that's what they use, isn't it?
Yeah, say DMC5.
So DMC5 by Capcom. And that's very important, the fact, the developer of this game, because this game is, I think the developer should be called Crapcom, because not in regards to the quality of the work they put in. I'm talking about the stuff that they put out.
Dig it out.
Yeah, I'm digging. I'm coming back up. I'm coming back up to the surface. Give me a moment. Because the games they make are so scary, they make you crap your pants. See? I'm there. I'm safe. Home free. So, wipes your brow. Look at Billy. He's like, oh, God, Funk, what are you doing to us? Yeah, so Bill, I got this.
So this is a franchise that sold 16 million units, right?
Yeah.
So DMC5 needed to deliver.
Yeah.
You actually got your hands on it a few days early.
Yes, I did.
Because it's just dropped. This is the week that this podcast comes out, is the week that it dropped.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us about your experience with it.
Well, interestingly enough, for the people who have never played any of the titles, it does give you a kind of like a backdrop as to what has happened in the narrative up until this point in time, so you can kind of get a little bit before you get into the story mode. But the main protagonist in the game used to be this guy called Dante, and now in the beginning of this game I play a character called Nero, and he's got one arm, but that doesn't give him any form of disadvantage, because this guy could do everything. He could do backflips, front flips, side flips, and shoot all at the same time. And his sword, can we talk about his sword now?
Yeah, man.
So I haven't seen a cool sword since Cloud in Final Fantasy, but this sword is really cool. Do you know why this sword is cool? Yeah, because the handle of the sword, it revs. It actually revs like a motorbike throttle. And I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's sick, isn't it?
That is quite sick, very, very sick indeed. But just the cutscenes, the cinematic cutscenes in this game, are absolutely outstanding. And this is one of those games where I'm just like, why has no one made a movie yet? Because it is very much in that that energy of those over the top what kind of franchise? Evil Dead. Like that kind of franchise, that really over the top zombie gore fest, but with comedy elements in there.
Yeah.
That's what I get from this game. And I feel like Netflix are probably knocking on the door in some way, where we'll chuck the budget and the toilet sink of this, and you just give us the rights to make this happen.
Well, Resident Evil, the film franchise.
No, but I don't like that girl.
Say what you want about that.
I don't like.
It did really, really well. The
what
numbers
has she done
well.
ever since that franchise? Mila.
What's her name? I don't know. You know, but I know that franchise did very, very well. Like, it consistently. But that
franchise upsets me.
And
this is why this is why I use that term crapcom in the beginning of the intro, because the monsters in this game are frighteningly creative. I mean, they don't just make these normal weird looking creatures. They've got these really awful, disgusting like monsters, and you only find those monsters in Resident Evil, like the lickers.
Oh yeah,
in Resident Evil. When I saw the lickers, I thought, what kind of warped mind would even create something that looks like this, but
they just get a great way of kind of getting under your skin with creepiness, innit?
Yeah.
And I feel like Devil May Cry is kind of like that hack and slash vibe.
Yeah.
But it's still got like creatures that as you're beating them up, you're kind of like, I'd never want to be in a room with them. Even if there was like a piece of Perspex glass that was like 12 inches thick that was keeping them away from me, you'd still feel like, yeesh.
Well, I can't understand the kind of mentality which would allow Nero to stand in the proximity long enough and not be running away, let alone fight these through various stages and levels. And
I think a sword that you can rev helps a long way.
Yeah, that
you got a
does
sword
help.
that can rev.
That
Yeah,
does
you're
help.
like, listen.
That
So
does help.
you hopped into the game. So you're kind of new to the Devil May Cry franchise, yeah. So how was it for you then, doing like double jumps, firing guns, slapping people with a sword?
Yeah, I found the control system very easy. You've got your slash movements, you've got the use of the gun, you've got the jump, and basically around those three movements, you pretty much get the gist of the dynamic movements that Nero can use. There's like a spear kind of system where you can throw it and then you can draw yourself closer to the enemy to attack him. I guess that's similar to what you would find in Scorpio if you were familiar with the Mortal Kombat fighting style.
Yeah. Come here.
Yeah, but it's a really, really enjoyable game. It's one of those games that you're actually blown away by the aesthetics. It looks very richer than, and I haven't got 4K TV, but in terms of the other games that I played at that time, it's very, very rich in terms of visually what they've put on the screen.
I think we're starting to realise the full potential of this generation of consoles with the games that we're getting. So I think we're getting visually rich environments that have a lot of depth to them that you really feel you're part of. Story-wise, though, I'd say out of the How to Kill an Hour gang, you're the anime fan, like the biggest anime fan. Do you feel like the story kind of lived up to its name in that respect as well?
The story, that's what I'm going to say. I think this has to be made into something because it falls into that realm of what they were doing with Castlevania, where they've taken a well-known title, they've kind of put the monsters in there, and they've just tried to tie in a decent narrative to push the franchise.
Nice.
But yeah, gameplay-wise, it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. I feel semi-proud of myself that as a 30-something-year-old man, I am not scared anymore, and I can play this with the lights off.
You played it with the lights off?
With the lights off.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's a massive achievement.
Was the volume on?
With the volume on,
oh, damn.
lights off, so that's a massive achievement for myself.
Were the kids in bed?
Yeah, they were. And you know what's funny enough? I actually might use this as a mechanism to send my kids to bed because they took themselves upstairs.
Okay, dad's fighting demons now. Time to go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you enjoyed it then. Good vibe.
Yeah.
So you played with Nero. Did you manage to get some time with Dante and V, the other characters, which you get access to in the game as well?
No, I didn't get a chance to play with Dante, but I saw the cinematic cutscene where Nero has his arm removed.
Yeah.
So you see how he loses his arm. Don't want to give too much about that, but he has a cool, very, very cool replacement, which is it's like it's recyclable. Because one minute he has it, he fires it off like some kind of tornado, and he gets another one.
Yeah,
which kind of just regenerates from out of nowhere. But
he's dope.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed the hack and slash vibe, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to throw at you, Funk, is you actually get access to a character called V, who kind of flips it on its head. And I got to have a go at him, on him when we got an exclusive playthrough just before the version of the game you got.
Yeah.
And this guy V flips it on his head. So this game's all about getting close, slapping the sword out, punching people out, melee, innit? It's a melee game, right? Get in, get out. V is like the opposite. He rolls with like a beasts, and he summons them and gets them to attack, and he's quite weak. He can't actually get hit. He can run in and finish an enemy, but he can't go in and hit an enemy. If an enemy beats him up, he goes quite quick. And he summons beasts, and that element, people were like, wow, this is very different. So that's actually quite a fun thing to play as well. So you can look forward to that later on in the game.
Yeah.
And if you manage to manage your beasts well enough and get enough downtime where you can charge up a super move which summons one heck of a beast.
Okay.
So V's a very different thing for DMC5, but people that have played, like Midas, he's a fan of the game show, a friend of the show. He had a go on V, and he was like, I'm not sure, I'd like some more time. He messaged me and was like, this guy is sick, but very different as well. So you got that to look forward to in the game as well.
It sounds like they've taken elements of like what they would use in the RPGs, where they've got a summoning beast.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It's like, I think they've added something for people that could enjoy something new, but they've not taken anything away from the original franchise.
Okay.
All right, DMC5. We'll put a link to that in the show description. Check that out. There's also some footage of me playing with V as well. We've got on the website. We'll link to that too. What's the other game?
The other game I played was the beta version of The Division 2.
Boy!
And listen, I actually first was a little bit skeptical about the Division title when you first gave it to me. Because how long has it been now? It's been about 3 years. About the first...
it's been a while, isn't it?
Yeah, about the first one. So...
Was it Bill? Bill knows.
2016.
2016,
yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, I played the Division 1, and that one is based in New York. And if anyone knows about the Division, it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic scenario whereby governments are fallen, there's complete disarray, but not in a kind of Mad Max style, kind of cheesy, like end of the world desert style. It's more about the battle for resources and the different factions which kind of are created in times of anarchy, basically. So it's a very, very human perspective on what would happen in the worst case scenarios. Now, Division 2 takes this on a little bit further and is obviously the sequel to it, but we're now moved from New York and we're in Washington. And it's a very powerful image to see the White House in the state it's in, and the whole of DC, Washington DC, in complete and utter disarray. And the gameplay is exactly like the first game, and the different areas.
What's it brought to the table? Because that's what everyone wants to know. Is the Division sick game? What's this brought? This, what sauce you brought? What flavors you brought?
Well, the thing is, I'm not too concerned with the added sauce it needed to bring, because I found, maybe because I undersold it beforehand, I wasn't expecting it to be that fun, and it was actually a brilliant game. Even when the lifespan of the game had kind of like passed, I still found myself playing it because it has the online facility, and you find yourself just going into campaigns, adding your friends in, and you have this teamwork effort where you feel like you're part of a real SWAT team, but not from the first person perspective that you find in COD, but like you can see your friends and the gadgets that you can use in the engagement. What Division 2 brings in is new gadgets. So there's drones now.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah,
so you can disrupt airports for 3 days with your drone.
That's why it's in the state it's in.
I love that. That's the whole premise.
Yeah.
We were fine. Then there were drones. That's it.
That's why Washington looks so bad.
Drones crashing into the White House.
This is what happens with no tourism. Our economy has dived. Yeah. So basically, you've got more gadgets in there, and essentially tougher campaigns. You find yourself that there was a more of the build up was more subtle, the increments in the areas. So in the first game, the difficulty level might be like 1 to 4, and it slowly build up, but quickly you're surrounded by areas which are quote unquote dark zone difficulty kind of thing. And the dark zone in the first division was an area where everything was just irrationally hard. Like people were popping up out of nowhere in like they were rolling like so solid. Shouts to Swiss, who's on the show. But this game, they had that area covered. They were 20 man deep. Yeah. 21 second running around the corners. That's their machine guns. So so this game is kind of got that difficulty sooner, a lot earlier on. But the storyline is very great. The level of realism, kind of you really empathize with the characters in the game.
So we need to get our hands on that full version of the game. Then we need to review that. Yeah. All right, then look forward.
It's quite a lot in the beta version, to be fair. Right. So I found myself playing a whole campaign. and a few side missions as well.
Okay, cool. You've been busy on that PlayStation, boy. Busy. For me, not gaming. I've been on some hardware, some camera stuff. So we actually got sent the DJI OsmoPocket, which is this small device. It's a little handheld device. Literally, I'd say the size of I was going to say a Mars bar, but after the sugar tax, they're slightly smaller. So slightly bigger than a Mars bar in terms of what you hold in your hand with a little gimbal on the top.
DJI, is that for disc jockey?
The drone company, you know. It's drones. Back again.
I know.
So yeah, Disc Jockeys International. So the Osmo is something that they've had, which has been a gimbal, like a handheld gimbal that you could use. The Osmo Pocket is obviously a smaller version of that. But this motherfucker packs a punch, right? So I'll give you some stats, right? It can shoot 4K at 60 frames a second, so you can get 4K slow-mo in this little handheld device.
Really?
Yep. And it does something pretty clever as well. So it actually it has a slow-mo setting where it looks like you've got 120 frames a second. So just to put this into that realistic conversation, things look 4 times slower than they are. So that's pretty cool slow-mo. A little handheld device. Press a couple of buttons on it and it does selfie mode as well. So it swings around to do selfie mode. It's really good for vlogging and such. And it's got a little tiny touchscreen on it, which is, I'd say it's like a couple centimeters by a couple centimeters wide.
Is that good if you're an ant?
Exactly right. So good, but you might want to get more access because it's so small. You can actually plug it into your phone. And before I got it, I was like, how does it hold the phone onto it? And I realized this thing's so small. Your iPhone holds it. You just have a little adapter, plug it inside your phone, and your iPhone becomes the screen for the Osmo.
Okay, sick.
So with an iPhone and an Osmo Pocket, you've got a little one-man vlogging kit where you can shoot high-end visuals. And to test it properly, we had a car a few weeks ago, Toyota G86, and we shot a video just using the Pocket. And we've actually got a review of the Pocket, a video of that as well, the Osmo Pocket. So you can see those on the How to Kill an Hour website. We'll put links in the show description to check those out. So small device, it holds its own charge. You get a good hour or so out of it recording. You can put a massive memory card in it, like 128 gigabyte micro SD in it. And I think things like this, these are the kind of tools that are going to help people when they want to be mobile, film videographers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because this thing can literally go in your pocket, and it's got all of these features which are forthcoming in it as well. Loads of adapters. Where I think they're gonna have an adapter where you can plug a microphone into it because it's so small, the mic on it doesn't sound amazing.
But Marcus, what is the price?
Oh, you want the price? Yeah. Well. I think it's. Right, give me a guess. How much do you think something like this should cost?
I mean, it depends. Well, who's the target market for this? Am I super vlogger or am I just entering into it?
Well, it's got features like it's got a feature where you shoot set pieces and set movements. So it has a set movement on it, right? So there's themes with music, right?
Okay.
And you shoot and it goes, right, you've got 3 seconds to shoot and the camera will pan, right? So you could be
really?
So it does that and then it edits it together to music.
Excuse me?
You can upload it straight to social media.
Wow.
So it's like, and it creates like a 15-second long video. So that's like a story length video, right? So features like that make me feel like it's designed for beginners. Plus,
I'd part with my cash though for something that good.
It's good. Plus, it's got pro settings. Yeah. Which means if you really wanted to get into like the aperture, the exposure, the color stuff, so you can go deep.
What you described just then, wasn't that a pro setting? that sounds pretty pro to me.
What's cool about that is it's pro. It like puts filters and stuff on it, but it's very much one button touch. So point the camera at the car, for example. We do one with the car in a video. Yeah. Point it at the car. It does a nice pan. You go to another bit of the car, press go, does a nice pan, go to another bit of the car, edits it together for you in the app and can instantly share it to social media. Wow. So if I don't know how to edit, that's edited it to the music. Okay. But if I wanted to like get deep in the settings, you can also do that as well via the touchscreen too. Yeah. So go on, give us a guess. How much do you think it's costing?
Gosh. I'd say I'd expect in excess of 6 or 7 for that.
At the moment, it is just over 300 quid on Amazon.co.uk.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And that's for the unit by itself. But I would say I'd be very tempted to get the accessories. Now, this is obviously, obviously gets more expensive. They've got accessories, which we actually got to use one There's a wireless accessory which you can perch it on, so you can put it somewhere and it can do a time lapse. It does time lapses for you as well. You can have an accessory mount where you can screw it onto other kind of active content. You get a little jog wheel that you can put on it so you can get special access. A waterproof case so you can use it underwater. So stuff like that. That's obviously going to add more to it as well. A boom pole as well, so you can do selfies. But I mean, for just over 300 quid, you got good quality visuals. And I think the best way for us to share that with you as an audience is click the link in the show description, watch the video. You can see the quality of the video that we created. It looks very, very good.
I think I'm more sold by the interface and what it does, because that's the main part of filming, the editing, because that's the presentation part. So if this is kind of satisfying those difficult moments in presenting, then that's where you're because you would have to buy obviously a program and the knowledge to learn that program.
Fuck that, none of that needed.
That's all consolidated into
so like, you know, when we went to was it Brussels? You know, we went to Brussels, right? You and I, Bill, and we went and saw the Star Wars drones. We made a video which required editing, putting together, which is cool. We can still do that, right? But imagine we just wanted to make a quick social video showing the highlights of one of the drones.
But you tell me, how much would that have shaved off the time using this piece of equipment?
Well, realistically, if we had the drone there and we were savvy with it, to do that feature, say everything was unplugged and in our bag, right? I'm going to extremely drag this out way longer because I'm going to presume that we have everything ready anyway. 5 minutes to do that. From getting it out of the bag, shooting it and getting it online, right? Because it's a little 10-second video, 15-second video. If I wanted to do that conventionally, I could, I have a laptop with me. I'd say it'd take another 10 minutes. But if I wanted to make content, if I wanted to be out at a day at an event and constantly share throughout the day, immediately, there's no quicker way than using something like the Osmo. No way you could turn it around quickly. You could use your mobile phone to get some shots, but in terms of the movement of the camera and the gimbal stabilization, you just can't get it.
And in the realms of the mobile phone world, is there anything currently in terms of software and picture quality which can compete with this? So So do you know what I mean? So
there's a couple of other things. I mean, and DJI have these as well. So and there's other brands that have these as well, where you can have a gimbal that you pop your phone onto. So you put your phone on the handle and it does everything for you. That's available. That's there. And I suppose if you got, for example, an iPhone with 256 gigabytes on it, that's enough room for you to do 4K. Get some slow-mo in there as well.
But it doesn't piece it all together though.
It wouldn't piece it all together. I mean, I presume there's a software out there that do that, but for me, I like the fact that my phone might stay in my pocket and have its charge for the day, so I can use it for phone stuff. And I have this, piece of kit that I know has got a very good quality lens. I can do time lapses with my phone that have movement in them because it's got a gimbal on it, the Pocket. You can put it on a surface and the gimbal will move over time as it's doing a time lapse. So that's actually a hyperlapse. That's a time lapse of movement. Nothing for phones at the moment I think you can do that with. So, are there other options? Yes. Is there anything with that form factor that has that many features? At the moment, no. DJI have managed to stay ahead of the game. And I reluctantly gave that back very quickly after the shoot. Shout out to...
Had to prize it out your fingers.
Shout out to the guys from DJI, because I was like, we met up with them and I was like, yo, I need one, man. Like, let's have a go.
When you sent it back in the post, you arrived with it in your hand, and I had to prize it out your fingers from the...
Post office were like, are you sure you want to deliver this? I was like, I don't know,
They just package you up.
It's got batteries in it. Is that... Can it go? Can it stay? But yeah, for us, I think that's going to be something that moving forward... Something like that would be very useful for us. The fact that I could say, Funk, here's the Pocket. I know you're going to get quality visuals. I know you can upload stuff. It's great for like kind of quick turnarounds for content as well. And you can use it to edit together videos.
I say why stop there. I can't see them not venturing into the world of film and making films out of this. Could they not?
Well, I think the quality, right? On that form factor is good, right? And they're adding more software features into it where you get film-like color profiles. So the colors look really filmy because they're really flat. The grade looks really flat, so you can pull colors. Could you shoot the next Marvel film on it? No, I'll be honest. But for its size, pound for pound, I don't think anything's punching like it visually. But yes, that's the Osmo. I've given it a really big sell, haven't I? Like, we have not been paid for this. I'll tell you this yet. We didn't even get the Osmo for that long. Yeah, me. I want the OsmoPocket for a little while. But anyway, so that's how we've been killing time this week. But we were joined by Swiss, weren't we, Funk? So you and Swiss did some work together, and obviously the first thing we asked him when he hopped in the studio was how he's been killing time recently.
So I've created this brilliant track with Funk Butcher called Swipe Delete, and it's a powerful message with a fun overtone. So I'll let Funk kind of explain a little bit of how we came about.
Yeah, I think that's it in a nutshell. So literally, it was a case of Swiss took a little bit of a social media break at the time, and I posted up one of my old tracks from my catalogue of track features keys called Club Culture, Sound Houseology, and it kind of had the dynamic of a vocalist, a lyricist, a rapper being themselves in their style, and just with my backdrop on it, with a house energy backdrop on it, and that really connected with Swiss. And
I think I heard it on Instagram or Twitter, one of them, and I was like, bro, send this to me, this sounds sick. And then after such time, I was taking a social media break. I tweeted that out, I'm having a break, and then Funk just jumped in my DMs like,
because I saw that it was just like, oh my god, I gotta get in there quickly.
He's like, bro, before you leave me your email or number or something. And I was like, all right, cool, here it is. And I was like, I'm gone.
It's mad how it's like you're leaving the planet, isn't it? When you go on social media, it's like you're leaving the face of the planet.
That's how it is sometimes, because if you don't really have that connection with someone outside of social media, it's like, oh my gosh, they've literally just disappeared off the face of the earth, kind of thing. It's a weird concept when someone is missing, but they're not missing. They've just gone off social media.
It's weird. I've done a break before and made the mistake of not telling anyone. Like, I just went on holiday. My policy on holiday is I don't care what pictures you want. Yeah, you can take pictures, but I'm not on the gram. I might look at stuff. I'm not posting. I'm having a drink and chilling. That's
and then subsequently you see your face on the side of milk cartons. Have you seen this?
Came back to the group, bro. We're worried about you.
It's true, you know.
I was like, no, but then I thought nobody called me. Pick up the phone, but people just don't think like that.
Where have you been? Are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, family well. Like, bro, like I'm still alive. I'm good.
Haven't you seen the hashtag? Where's Bronzy? But sorry. So you sent a single to Swiss,
sent it to me, and then on my break, and while I was on my break, you know, you tend to jump in your phone, listen to because I got a few records that I'm working on as well. So I was listening through, and I was like, oh yes, I think Funk sent me, blah blah blah, boom, put it on, and all of a sudden, I was like, yeah, you know what? The concept just came to me out of the blue because obviously I'm driving. I parked up before I actually turned the music on, so I wasn't being illegal or anything. I actually pulled
Disclaimer.
I put it on, and it was on a playlist going, and then Funk tune came on, listening to it, and I put it on repeat. And as I put it on repeat, lyrics were coming to me, and like Jay-Z, I memorized the lyrics. So I basically wrote two verses in the chorus.
That's crazy.
You seriously you wrote it in your head?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, wow.
Two verses in the chorus.
Yeah.
You know, after such time, the concept came to me, two verses in the chorus.
Yeah.
And it was just, the vibe was like, damn. And then obviously it's about social media. It's about selfies. It's about selfie culture, which I didn't intend to happen. As I said, it just came to me. So I text Funk, you know, and I was like, bro, you know what? I've got 80% of this track done, you know? You need to book studio.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. And he was shocked, like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, 80% of the song's done. So I booked studio and then just pulled everyone together. I got a friend of mine that has always been bugging me, like, Swiss, when you go studio, please bring me, get me on the song. My girl Kensima, brought her down to do the little girl parts in between my lyrics. You know, Funk's. It's always good to have the people that are invested in the song from the beginning to be there actually when you're recording. Nowadays, with the advent of the internet, you can send files all across the world and wherever, and people are making songs without that chemistry. So nowadays, I just like to have the person there. So I made sure that Funk was there. I could have just done it, been like, you know what, Funk, I'm going to do the song. Then I'll send it to you. I was like, no, come studio. Brought Kent Samar. She brought a friend. Sky's there. He's of our age group. So it's just a good energy in the studio.
And we was all able to kind of contribute with little advice and little...
Even my Kent Samar's friend, that has nothing to do with anything, she was putting in advice like, that sounds
she got
good.
up on her feet.
She jumped in the booth with Kent Samar just to give her a bit of confidence. Like, it was just a group effort, a really nice vibe in there. By the end of it, I think there was a twinkle in all of our eyes, like, you know what, this sounds sick. You know what I'm saying? So, man, just a very organic, natural kind of...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Was it one of those ones when you listen to it the next day, it's still sounding
Bro,
amazing.
I couldn't stop playing it.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop playing it, man.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
I'll probably text you like bare time. Like, bro,
Yeah,
I can't stop.
I remember Funk actually did send me a snippet. I was walking. I remember where I was walking down the canal, and I was, he says, "Let me just send you something." And he sent it to me. I was like, "Shit!"
That's how you know when you're excited about something. Like, you can't wait to, you know.
And obviously at that stage, it's completely unmixed, unmastered, and what we're still vibing to is just like, it's just a raw bounce kind of thing. Yeah.
And I made sure the quality control was good as well, man. So we made sure that we, you know, visited a good engineer to kind of mix it down, and, you know, got the mastering, you know, to a certain level, and, you know, everything, you know, we took care of the song, man. Made sure that at all levels it was, you know, the quality was there.
Yeah. And I think it's been a real interesting journey from an independent perspective of how far we've taken a record from natural inception as well. Like the way we've come together right up until this space of national radio play and the support it's had. So even in the space where a lot of people might feel like, does music of that ilk, does it still get that support? Does it, that love in this day and age? Do I need hundreds of thousands of dollars and flashy video and
pounds
and yeah, exactly. But no, it seems like there are still spaces, thankfully, where, and we want to thank all the DJs that have been supporting the record.
All the DJs that have been supporting, and I feel like you've had, like you said, the independent release, every station that's been playing it.
Yeah, Kiss 100, One Extra, Radio 1.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're not playing it, you're not a big station, so sort your life out.
FM, trust
Flex,
me. Flex, everyone, man. Everyone, the support's been immense, bro. Like, it's exceeded our expectations.
And it literally has only been out for the past 3 weeks.
3 weeks,
exactly. So this is a Swiss and Funk Butcher collaboration. Both of you are good at making things that sound great at the base level, right? But there's always a deeper meaning. So let's talk about the deeper meaning of this song, right?
So Swipe Delete is basically about pointing towards selfie culture and how much it can become an imbalance in your life because you're always trying to present your perfect self. Do you understand? So we're not always perfect. We wake up, we yawn, we fart, we do all these human things that I'm not saying you got to fart on social media, but what I'm trying to say is that you're not presenting the other side of yourself where people can see a very sober version of reality. It's very extreme. You know, you got the girls on Insta, they know how to do the angles with the phone. They put one foot, I know all the girls' tricks now. They put one foot in the front of the other to make the bum look big on this cheek. The other one's over there. You meet them, the bum's not really like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you get these things happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So
the disappointment.
Decepticons.
Contouring culture, which comes from the transgender culture and the drag culture, where women are
using the makeup to
use their makeup to accentuate certain features and that. You just get normal girls doing that now. So we're going towards an extreme in society via the advent of selfie culture, whereby people are just presenting a very skewed version of reality. And, you know, our the artwork of our single pays homage to that.
Yeah.
Whereby I'll let you explain the kind of...
Yeah, and I think the artwork is testament to the level of care that we put in to the whole product, not just on the sonic level, but also in the first space in which you have interaction with the record, which is the artwork. And what we did is we took an image of what we perceive to be a conventionally aesthetically what you would class maybe as an Insta model, and we juxtapose it with a woman who looks very tired, stressed, fed up kind of thing. I think she's in a dressing gown, and we gave her, with the kind of the Instagram counter, we gave her more likes, more engagement than the one who should, where we led to believe should do. And what we've done is just subverted the image of or the concept that how you present yourself, your natural self, how you feel. If you feel rubbish, you feel rubbish, but that should be the self which you should be able to present to the wider audience. So shouts to my creative director at House of the G, Naomi Ray. She put that together, and and we've kind of done it in a recognizable style as well. In like we've paid homage to that kind of the graffiti style that Banksy uses, kind of thing.
Now you said it. It's very Banksy like.
So we've used someone who, in the realms of the art world, he is a conversationalist as well. So we've really thought about it on every micro level, and it's been quite refreshing working with an artist in an actual sense. An artist thinks about the art rather than just putting words on there, or putting sounds on a program or MPC or whatever, but thinking about what conversation is going to occur from this being put out there. And so
we even have the conversation about the hierarchy of levels you can go to with how we present this conversation to the public. You understand? On one level, we could just talk about selfies. On another level, you could talk about the presentation of self. On another level, you can talk about the pathological results that come from, you know, that type of culture. Which, you know, FOMO, fear of missing out. Narcissism. You know, there's so many different things that can pathologies that can come from the extreme side of selfie culture. And psychologists' rooms are being filled up more and more, psychotherapists, from the fact that people are, you know, people are suffering from ailments that come from that culture. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's what concerns me the most. That concerns me the most. And I feel
body dysmorphic disorder. You know what I'm saying? All stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? I
mean, there are some things that have been positive, I've got to say. So there's been a trend in healthier eating and more gym because there's more of that going on online. But at the same time, like you said, body dysmorphia, eating disorders and stuff like that, all because people are kind of chasing this impossible visual, do you know what I mean? Or this look that only a few can really pull off. And like augmenting their bodies, putting stuff in your face or your body, so you look good on camera, even if it might not look that good in real life.
Exactly.
And I think it's again alluding to what Swiss was talking about. It's the levels of the record. So on a surface level, it's just a great, fun record. It's got a wicked beat behind it. It's a great catchy hook. But the conversation which starts beyond it, and one of the words that the phrasing that Swiss told me when he first thought of the concept was cognitive dissonance. And we sat. I remember we was talking in the car. I was in my car. I just parked up from football, and he was talking to me about the dissonance in the sense of, we're behaving in ways but we're not really aware of, and that's I guess in some ways the frightening aspect of social media, that you approach someone in the street and they don't even know that they have fallen foul of the social media etiquette, but they wasn't taught it. They've just somehow had an awareness of the correct selfie to take, the correct selfie to post, the correct tweet to post. It's almost like someone has gone around us individually and given us social PR training.
Social script,
like exactly, social script as to, you know what there's a list of subject matters that you can talk about that's happening in your life. What one would you post? And you know instinctively what stuff to talk about and what stuff is a bit uncouth kind of thing. So that's interesting. That's
social engineering. Even some of the bigger platforms in music, they won't post your stuff unless it feeds into this basic narrative do you understand? As I've seen certain platforms, all they post is either a bit about football, they either busting jokes or it's trap songs. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's almost like that's all they represent. Do you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, come on, bro, man. Like, start expanding people's minds. Sometimes you can be the one to expand the public's mind. You don't have to always conform to what you think they want, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
and you've also done that a bit as well with a game that you've developed as well, right? So you've developed an app, right?
Yeah, called Nardaland. So me, Ashley Waters, Darren, and Miguel. Miguel's a graphic designer. Darren is a coder. I myself do the music producing, and Ashley is a story writer and actor. So most games have a story. You know, Mario, someone steals his princess and he has to get it. Bowser steals his princess and he has to get it. You know, I'm a bit old school, so I'll go back to that. I'm a bit old school, so I play the old games. But,
Mario,
you know, every
1. Super Mario.
It was just called Mario.
That is one of the fundamental principles of gaming. You have to have a story. You have to have something that causes the player to want to have a goal. And usually a story does that for them. So within our game, the story is that there's a place called Nardaland, there's a king called Mr. Stayfly, and there's an enemy called, what's the enemy's name? There's an enemy. So anyway, you go through about 5 levels of collecting eggs, because the enemies have basically stolen these eggs off a species of owls, and the owls are becoming extinct, and that extinction will throw off the balance of the ecology of Nardaland. Right. So this king has to make sure he collects these eggs to balance the ecology of Nardaland. So there's even a deeper message in that. So so the game takes you through various stages. The demo is out right now. The first level is out right now on the Play Store and the equivalent, which is whatever iPhone's doing.
Salty.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's on. Let's say it's on all gaming platforms, mobile gaming platforms. So if you type in Nardaland, NADA land, you'll be able to get it, download it for free, and play the first level. There's another 4 to 5 levels coming out. It's a dope game, man. It's like basically Flappy Bird on drugs. So you can shoot from your mouth. The main player can shoot from his mouth. And he's got all sorts of different bullets that he can shoot. He's got bombs and he's got normal laser bullets. Okay. It's a very fun, aesthetically pleasing game to the eye.
It looks good. Like,
it looks
looks very well put together. So when you, and there's no diss to Flappy Bird, I don't even know if they're out anymore, but Flappy Bird was quite pixelated. This is very clean.
Very clean, very clean. You know what I'm saying? It's taken us a year to basically, over a year now, to put this game together. And that's because we don't want to put out a product, even though it's our first game and the demos, as I said, the first level's out. We don't want to put out a product that's substandard. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've really got some good quality people that have invested into this game, that have got really good skills, and we want that to reflect within the game. Okay. So it will be out hopefully by May.
Okay, but we can get the demo now. We'll put the link in the show description.
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
To the Google store and equivalent.
And the equivalent.
So, you're Android then, yeah?
No, I'm an Android guy, yeah. I mean, the phone I got now is a Huawei. The word begins with a H, but most people think Huawei.
It is Huawei.
Most people say Huawei or what are you talking about, bro? I've had a few arguments with people.
It's Huawei.
No, it's Huawei.
It's Huawei.
Yeah. So I got the Huawei phone. Before that, I had the Google Pixel. And before that, I had what phone did I have? It's another Android phone.
Nokia.
No, but 3210.
N95.
The banana phone. Yeah, so I've always been an Android guy. I'm not really an iPhone guy, you know.
Why is that?
I just think, at the time, my argument was iPhone's too restrictive. So you could only download certain apps that they allowed you to. Whereas Google Play is a lot more expensive. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then on top of that, I don't know, they just have like funny little ways of how they lock you within their system. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not a person that likes to be imprisoned. So I need to be free. You get me?
You like to feel free because I think with any tech company, the best thing for them to do is to build an ecosystem so that you've got the TV, the laptop, the fridge, the washing machine, and the phone, so that it all talks better. Yeah. So I think we've spoken about this a few times on the show. We think that is like nowadays when you're a tech company, that's got to be your aim. Your aim can't be to sell one product. It has to be
100%.
Sell the whole family of products.
And I get it. Okay. As a consumer, I have choice. So, you know what I'm saying? I can go to whichever one suits me. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Yeah. But the Huawei at the moment, you're feeding the camera.
I'm feeding the Huawei. Right? The Huawei, the camera is really good on that phone.
Which model is it?
It's the Pro.
The Pro
20.
All right.
I think it's called. The P20. Yeah, P20 Pro. Yeah. So that phone's really good. It uses the Android system. And I think that company in the past has worked with other phone companies to develop them to a certain level as well. So it's one of those phone companies that know what they're doing. Hence the reason why they've made a really good phone, 3 cameras on the back, and the photos come out really good.
Yeah, they have got budget as well.
Really? Is it Japanese?
Chinese. Government funded, but we won't get into the quality. There's a lot.
Really?
There's a lot around that.
Chinese government money. Wow.
They do feel a bit Apple-esque, a little bit like in terms of, you know what I'm saying? As you say, most companies are like that now because in the tech world, you want it to be all-inclusive to your own company. But
yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. But they have got there's an advert I saw today. It was like an Insta advert, and they got the AI in the phone. So they use the power of the phone to complete an unfinished orchestral production. So the phone worked out. There was like a famous piece of music that wasn't completed. They got the tech in the phone to work out how the rest of it would sound. Like wrote the music and got an orchestra to play it.
That's crazy.
All I was thinking, I saw that was, wow, that's a lot of fucking budget you got to do that, man, for an advert to promote a phone. So
that's why I had the Galaxy before.
Oh, you had the Galaxy, right?
Samsung, which is also Android. Right. And then I heard the new Galaxy 10, is it? Yeah, probably 10, not X, because that's iPhone, isn't it? Yeah. The Galaxy. That's someone told me this is the Roadman version. So basically, someone said a woman can see her baby as a scan.
What?
She can actually scan. You know, it's got ultrasound on it.
A phone that's got
ultrasound. I haven't looked into it myself, but I thought, okay.
Your friend hit the blunt before he told you that.
Also,
come on, fam. Your friend hit the blunt. Your friend. Come on, man.
That's what I said. Yeah. This is the roadman version because
that's a
when he said that, I thought, that he threw it. That was the last thing he said. So he threw a few other things in there that kind of sold it to me. He was like, "Yeah, you can charge another person's phone from it."
You can. I've seen that. That's
And then he said something else because I was explaining my phone, the Huawei, all this kind of thing. He's like, okay, yeah, have you seen the new Samsung? So you can charge someone's phone from it. It does some other incredible things. Plus, it's got ultrasound in it where you can. I was like, you're trying to get me to buy this phone in it, kind of thing. And there was another person like, no, for real, it can do that. I was like, okay. I haven't looked into it still, but you know, kudos to them if they, you know.
We need to go and investigate that, man. Ultrasound phones, that's a new thing. But the phone to phone charging, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's going to cause arguments because if somebody starts connecting to my phone, I've not given them permission, and they just start trying to take my last 20% of battery.
Yeah. No, I think it locks off at a certain. When it gets to like 25%, it will just stop charging the other person's phone. So,
that's a good look though. That's good.
Yeah, much better than Apple.
Yeah. All right. You've also got some other music coming up as well, right? You got a single.
Yes, I have. Yeah, which I've just pushed out, which is getting a lot of love. So basically, it's I reproduced a version of "Stand By Me," a UK version. I got Oggy. He's the artist that sings "Follow Me," but he done the updated version on it. I got Spoonie on there playing the trombone, legendary Spoonie from the Deep Dream team.
Legend,
garage legend. Do you understand?
Shouts to
Doing
Spoonie.
it way before us.
Before So Solid.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know the history, but man like Spoonie, man like Spoonie and the elders in our garage scene. Do you understand? The ones that built the foundation. So I got Spoonie in there. And I also got the grand violinist to play the violin on the middle eight, the bridge. As you know, there's a string section in the original of Stand By Me, written by Ben E. King. Yeah. And I also got, who else did I get? A saxophonist called Luke Pinkstone. So I made it very musical to pay homage to the era that it comes from. Soulful voice of Oggy to maintain that era as well. But I gave it an edge by putting a garage backing track underneath it. You know what I'm saying? So it appeals to the young audience or the current sound that's now.
Okay. So
it's a dope song, if I may say myself, man. Not just because of the song itself, but because of who I've brought together on it. And also for the time that it's come out in. I think it's such a strong message for the time that we're in, you know, with the advent of Brexit and so many different ethnicities or cultures that are opposing each other in this climate. I think it's a song that could possibly bring the country together emotionally, spiritually, and just on a downright musical basis. Do you understand? Because music has that appeal to where you don't have time to think about who's next to you, what race they are, whatever. You're all just raving together. I'm not saying this is the only song that does that. There's many songs that do that, but I think particularly the group of people that are brought together on this, the time that it's come out in, and universal alignment, I just think is perfect for the current climate.
You've always been someone to embrace that conversation, though. I feel like this isn't the first time Swiss has had a conversation about stuff like this. No. So I feel like on Swipe Delete, it was a conscious song. I feel like everything you do, there's a message in it.
There's a message in it, I noticed that myself. I didn't notice that before.
But you had fun. Is this going to be one which is also, you know, you can rate and have fun with, but there's also, if you listen again, like you said, Funk, enjoy it on the surface level, but then when you listen again and listen again, you get more out of it. It's one of those ones.
100%. And even go back to the original. Once you hear this, go back to the original and listen to it and look into how and why he wrote that song. Because also the title of the song came from a song called Stand By Me Father that was performed and written by Sam Cooke. But there's another guy, his name misses me at the moment, but I did say in a previous interview on my Instagram, if you want to go, and my Twitter, if you want to go on my Twitter, Instagram, you'll hear it. His name misses me. But yeah, it was written by Sam Cooke. So there's levels of the strata of how this whole thing connects together. Do you know what I'm saying? And I took into consideration that foundation, you know, as I was developing and making the song to make sure that I'm going into it for and with the right reasons. Do you know what I'm saying?
Was this another one that you wrote like while you were on the A40 or the A406?
Yeah, no.
Singing around.
I didn't produce it while I didn't produce it while I was driving, but I basically only produced the song. Obviously, the lyrics and whatever was already there. So that was Oggy's contribution, which he done brilliantly. Right. But I just produced the song and brought everyone together. And most people think when you're a producer, you have to play everything. And no, producing mean I had the vision and I brought everyone together.
Yeah, you orchestrated it.
You orchestrated it, do you understand? But
DJ Khaled did it.
Yeah. No, but I actually played. I do play.
Yeah.
So actually,
because you got the videos on social media. Yeah.
So
and I didn't know you played keys.
Yeah,
as well.
and I actually recorded myself adding the chords as well, which I haven't put out yet. But in at home, I recorded myself playing the chords in where the chorus comes in. But so yeah, I played in the melody of the bass line and created the percussive sounds around it, and then I got all the instruments players to come in and do their thing. And even though Spoonie's not a professional trombonist, I brought him in obviously because I wanted to work with Spoonie, because back in the day, people might not know, Tess S.O. this and no, I'm a DJ but I heat up mics when I flow. I had a lyric about Dream Team can't stop this, do you get what I'm saying? So we was kind of angry with Dream Team back in the day because we felt like they were kind of stopping us as young men from coming into the garage scene and evolving and doing our thing and putting our little spin on it, do you get what I'm saying? And I just kind of wanted to put that to an end by working with Spoonie, symbolically by working with Spoonie now on this song and kind of just bringing everything together.
How does it feel now looking back at that environment when you felt that Dream Team were kind of holding you back? How, as an older now, do you look at it from a different angle? Do you understand?
I can understand and relate because naturally, when you are part of a scene that you create, when you're part of a scene that you create, your natural thing is to protect it. Okay. You understand?
Yeah.
So
it's your baby.
It's your baby. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So I understand that's just human nature. You know what I'm saying? You could apply that to so many different things in life. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, and I look at a lot of life like that as human nature. I don't get upset at a lot of things, bro. I just put it down to human nature, man. Because I'm a much more of a deeper thinker now, and I look below the surface. So sometimes people have, various extremities of emotions that don't necessarily come from them consciously. It's just a knee-jerk response. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's how I look at it. But if you're acting like that now still, because I do still see sour faces sometimes, or that energy that's still there from back in the day, and I'm like, come on, man, that happened back then. Like, let's have a conversation. Like, what's up, bro? Talk to me. Do you understand? Do you still have a problem with Soul Solid? Like, what is it?
Do you see that as negative energy, or do you see that as just them with what's it called? Like just too much competitiveness within their human nature.
So, very true. Even so, because when we came in, a lot of people came in with, one or two people in their crew. But we actually brought the crew element to Garage, where you have five different men on one song, which is where Lethal B will tell you, Pow came from that idea. Do you understand? More fired three guys. This one had whatever, and then you had Pay As You Go. Roll Deep. Do you understand? So we kind of brought that crew element to the garage scene, and that template got replicated.
But nobody, I've said this as a conversation for you, nobody did it quite like you did it.
Yeah, quite like us,
And there's been a lot of conversations, and some conversations, unfortunately, where you've been missed out of because
very true,
as a course of revisionist history, some people will place themselves in certain positions to facilitate their own narrative and musical legacy. Now, if you represented a space in music where you were the top dogs in terms of how you represent yourself sonically, what you were coming with, it was unlike anything that visually, unlike anything we'd had in the UK at the time, then I guess years onwards, people will still have that perspective of you because you're the focus that they need to kind of like up seat from the throne. So I guess sometimes that energy, that negative energy can be misconstrued as competitiveness because you still represent the benchmark of what we conceive as good organic music from the underground.
With strong foundation though,
exactly.
Everybody built on afterwards.
Everything since that generation, so to speak, has been orchestrated from people pulling in like bits and pieces and building it together. Definitely. There hasn't been anything really, really, really organic in a long time.
Yeah, very true, very true. Was there a question in there?
No, there wasn't.
I think, what do I add to that? You kind of said everything.
Just say hell yes.
Yes, hell yes.
Amen.
You get me?
Amen. So all right. So Dream Team and you, you're cool now.
Yeah, we're cool now. Right. Dream Team. I haven't spoken to Timmy Magic or Mikey B, but I won't do it now. When I see them in person, and I got a conversation to have with Spoonie as well, that I didn't have when I saw him in person when we created the track. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, you can always reconcile things, basically. So there's a lot of youngers that might have problems with olders or olders with youngers now, or even beefs between, you know, people of the same generation that you might not think that you can reconcile in the future. It can happen, do you understand? Because at the time, it was very tense. Word was, there was a list at Carnival on the garage stage, and there was a list of songs that were not to be played. Bound for the Reload was one of them. Don't Smoke the Reefer was one of them. And there were meetings that were had later on throughout the years where some of the elders of our industry, garage industry, would come together and kind of create strategies where they would keep us out. Do you know what I'm saying? Or say, how do we regulate this? And obviously I can understand as well, because a lot of what the narrative that the press were creating out of some of the violent situations that were happening at raves, do you understand? It was easy to point the finger like what's happening to garage. You know what I'm saying? So I can also understand that. Do you understand? I've become very understanding over the years. But at the same time, all it takes is a conversation, a bit of guidance. Do you understand? We were just young people that were doing what we was doing, having fun and doing what we was doing. It's not to say that we wouldn't listen to Creed, Spoonie, throw out any name, Jason K, or if they came to us and just, well, Jason K was quite cool. We booked him for a lot of our raves and whatever. But I never had a personal conversation with him, but, you know, he was conversating with Mr. C, Mega, the promoters. But it's not to say that a conversation can't change things. Yeah. And this is something that I've kind of had to pull myself up and try and implement now as an older person, because it's easy to fall into a narrative in your own mind where, look what the young people's doing and do you know what I'm saying? Like, even I've done it. Do you understand? Through what everything So Solid's been through, I've even turned around and done it. Do you understand? So, you know, sometimes we just got to be a bit more self-aware and try and find the best way of how to resolve something. And it's definitely not to look at young people and just point the finger. Have a conversation with them.
Yeah. I think people forget that a conversation should be the first point of call sometimes.
Exactly.
Because a lot can be resolved that way.
Definitely. Because I look at Spoonie, I call him Uncle Spoonie. Do you understand? Because he's from that generation where he just reminds me of my uncle. Yeah. Do you understand? He listens to the same type of music. You see Spoonie on Instagram, he's in his car and he's singing away. Do you understand? It's that generation. So he's Uncle Spoonie to me. I got that respect for him. Do you understand? And for most of them that are of that generation, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes all it takes is a conversation. And Spoonie actually came out because we are collaborating with him on his garage orchestra event that he does. And he got, you know, So Solid to come and perform 21 Seconds. And he actually came out and said, you know what, when these guys first came, whatever have you. But, you know, looking back, we loved what these guys done to the game. They done this, they done that. And I just had to tweet him or something. I DM'd him and just said, you know what, bro, thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I went at the event, Lisa, Romeo, Mega, all them lot were there. So it was nice for him to present himself in that way publicly to his audience, his demographic, and actually give us the props. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah,
and that's completely how Spoonie is. I've had so many instances, and I've got a long-standing relationship with Spoonie as well. And he is one of the few people who can look introspective and have a 360 glance at what is happening and engage in conversation and dialogue to resolve an issue. So, I mean, this isn't something which was motivated for any other reasons other than just bringing everyone together and creating a harmony. Which is what is needed in music.
Yes. And that's what I've done with the song.
Exactly.
Grime violinist, she represents the grime generation, the younger generation. We're kind of in between, you know, the balance between garage and grime. And then Spoonie is very like traditional garage. And then you have Oggy, which brings a soulful element. You know, as I said, the updated version of Follow Me, which Ministry of Sound log as the first garage song. It might not be.
Is that what they log as the first ever garage song?
It's not the first garage song.
That's a bit suspect. They're trying it there, bro. Really? Ministry, sort yourself out.
I don't know who was tweeting at the time.
Why would you start that?
I don't know who was tweeting at the time, but
that sounds like a fun butcher tweet. You know what? You know when he tweets sometimes. Sorry, I think he sits there and he looks at the end of it and he goes, watch this.
And you know what? I'll blow my finger before I press. Ignition.
But they look at the first garage tune, and I don't know who's tweeting at the time, but you know, whatever. But it's symbolically, it's one of those songs that you kind of hear and you do definitely signify as one of the foundational message-based garage tunes that represent that feel-good kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, as I said, Oggy does the updated version of that, so he brings that element to it, and then the saxophonist kind of brings that, you know, musical, traditional thing that elders can hear the song and be like, yeah, man, some good music. That's you know, have the saxophone, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's these little intricacies in there that help to bind, you know, everyone together. Yeah. And that's what the song represents, you understand? And the message just brings it all together, Stand By Me, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you. I look forward to that. And where can we find you on social media when we're looking for Swiss to if you're not on a break, I presume.
Yeah,
you ain't got time for a break now.
I'm back now. I'm totally consumed by my phone now.
So Instagram's like, you spent 1 hour on Instagram. You're like, yeah, it's 6 a.m. Shut up and carry on. But where can we find that, like the new single? Where can we find all the information? Where can we see the video when it drops?
Yeah, I mean, for Swipe Delete, the video should be out. We'll give it within the next 3 weeks, I say.
Yeah.
You guys move fast.
No, he's lying. It'll be soon. It'll be soon.
Yeah. It'll be soon. So coming soon. Yeah. You know when you don't know a date, you just say coming soon. Yeah. So that's coming soon. Stand By Me has been given out as a white label. You know, it's not record, but, you know, symbolically white label to a few DJs. I
was going to ask that Benny King, that Benny King clearance.
No, but that's cool. Like, this song is not about trying to, you know, it's not about trying to take it to the label kind of part of the industry. Mm-hmm. First of all, I want to take it from the bottom, and it's not about me making money. Like, I don't have to make a thing. Obviously, bookings can come out of it. At the baseline of this, if I get bookings from it, you know, all good. But at the moment, I even had this conversation with my daughter's mum. Like, for me, music's just an exchange for me. I put a certain energy out and it's reciprocal. I get it back. Nice. And that has to be the foundation of how I approach things. Everything after that will come. Yeah. But as long as I put my intent and my thought into creating the best possible thing that can bring about the best result, which is stirring some emotions, some happy emotions or sad or whatever, but there's a point to the music, I'll get something back, and that is the ultimate exchange for me. Do you understand?
I think you're definitely that kind of artist.
Yeah, exactly.
To say anything other than that would be wrong. Like, because if you look at, you know, I can't not mention Cry as well.
Cry.
You talk about stirring emotions. Yeah. That song was, you know, that did it for everyone.
But that's a rarity in the capitalist kind of driven music industry, where first and foremost you have a lot of young producers and their sole objective is to make a hit.
To bang. It's got to be a banger.
And rather than them getting out whatever they feel or whatever they want to kind of generate in terms of a response in the crowd, that's kind of by the by now. And that needs to be brought back, because when you bring that back, you will get a lot more honest expressions of their art form.
Yeah. Because in the same thing, like, selfie culture, where everyone's trying to present themselves a certain way. Same thing in music. Yeah. Everyone's trying to be gangster. Yeah. But it's like, okay, bro, what's your mum going through? Yeah. Can you give that perspective in the second verse? So that I get some kind of balance of how this is affecting the people around you. Do you understand? So you can't always be gang. Yeah. You kind of need to be human a bit.
There's quite a few disguises out there, isn't it? There's gangster, there's hipster, there's all these different disguises in especially in London. If you're not from London, you come to London, you'll see a lot of groups of people wearing funny outfits, and I call them outfits because you go back 5-10 years, they wasn't dressing or looking like that, and a lot of these outfits and these guises that people wear are geographical. So if you go to East London, they look different from South London. So they look different from Northwest London. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
And again, they have to project this on a consistent space. So they look this way on social media. They have to portray this. And the funny thing I've always found,
and I said it in the song, girls want to be bad bitches and the G's want to act like rich kids. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you know, that's actually what the song's saying. And it brings us back to presentation of self. Exactly. Everyone's presenting in some sort of way. Not necessarily a bad thing. We do it off social media.
We all do it.
I'm a father, so when I'm talking to my son, I present myself a certain way. I'm a friend. When I'm chatting to my friends, I'm at the pub or I'm in a club, I'm presenting myself a certain way as a brother to my sister. Do you understand? In different forms. Now I'm presenting myself as whoever I am, Swiss, so solid. Do you get what I'm saying? So everyone presents, but I feel like it becomes a pathological thing when you're only presenting yourself in one way. And that's basically at the heart of what the message of Swipe Delete is about. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Swipe Delete is when you have your old school friends who remembered you from a certain age group, and when they respond to you by your government name, you ignore them. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people who have no life.
So this is who we're playing today, yeah? They're still playing that game. Okay.
I'll play.
That's a shot, yeah? Okay.
Be who you want to be.
Okay, Batman. All right, Batman. You're not Bruce Wayne. Right, anyway, right. So I got some stats to bring it back to the track. This might interest you, actually. We got some information about the most data-draining apps on the phones.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
Specifically...
On who? My phone? Or
on generally on phones?
It's only on one of my phones. Mine's Twitter, obviously.
I don't want to say what it was on my phone, where a couple websites get streamed. So I've got two sections. I've got TV and music. So I think I'll do the music section first. So of all the apps that stream music, right? I want you to think of the biggest ones, the ones that you know.
Yeah.
I want you to both give a guess which apps drain the most for music streaming on your phone.
iTunes, Spotify.
Oh,
you got to pick one.
Yeah, you can pick one or pick one each. So what would you say out of those?
I'll say Spotify.
Okay, Spotify.
Yeah, because Spotify's like the Coca-Cola of music, innit?
I think Spotify is like the oxygen of the music industry. It's everywhere.
But it's the most heavily popular brand of the streaming sites.
Yeah, you can't breathe in streaming music without hearing about Spotify. I hear that. But yeah, what do you think, Funk? I'm not going to say whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah,
right.
Spotify.
So Spotify is in third place.
Really?
That it uses, right? Apple Music pips it to the post. It's a little bit more. And then the service, and this is going to make you understand why the service that uses the most data on your phone.
Go on.
Tidal.
What?
That's going to make you think when I start talking about quality and stuff. Because remember, Tidal talks about quality.
Yeah.
So in terms of most data, Tidal's actually the app that
because you use all those gigs to download those WAVs.
Super high quality. Yeah. See, Jay-Z doesn't tell you about that, does he?
It's good for the music industry, though.
Yeah.
Good for the game.
They pay the best. Indeed. They actually pay the best.
And they actually pay the best. Tidal.
They do. Yeah.
I think people credit them to having the best. What do they call them? The best.
Royalty.
No, when you have a particular type of songs in order.
What, like the sonically, how it sounds?
No,
or?
like you have a playlist.
Oh, okay. So it has the best algorithms for the playlist.
The best playlist online will come from, I don't know, if you're a hip hop fan, you might say that. Do you get what I'm saying? Hip hop, R&B, because it kind of, it's Jay-Z's platform, innit? Which he comes from that era.
Okay.
That makes sense.
But it must be weaker in other algorithms then, because I don't know. Would they be great in forms of electronic dance music? Because that's where Spotify's a European company.
Yeah.
And that's probably where initially, before it gained prominence, it was getting a lot of its weight through its European listenership before it moved into the US market. So they would have been streaming your Tiestos and those kind of acts.
Yeah. I mean, in the States, they've got different streaming apps as well. I can't remember for the life of me what it was, but there was one that was out and it was doing a lot before Spotify. So I remember my friend had it on his TV and he was showing it to me. It was like a new concept. He goes, if I like a tune, it will play it for me. If I say I don't like a tune, it will never play it again, and it will use. I remember being bamboozled. I was like, what? It works out what you like and it will select tunes out of it. So it was doing that before Spotify around the same time. So it's interesting. That's a very interesting point. Maybe it could be skewed depending where people are from. I got one more TV then. So for go on, Frank.
I was going to say, what streaming services are they using in like markets like India and China? Because
no idea.
Yeah,
no idea.
Spotify's in India though now. Because I saw shouts to Austin. I saw Austin tweet about Spotify being in India.
I would say that's a market you do not want to miss out.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss out. The sheer volume of people that
There's a billion people that live there.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest two
biggest people that live in India.
Yeah.
The two biggest YouTube channels are like, there's that PewDiePie.
Yeah.
And then it's like a Bollywood channel that does Bollywood music videos, absolutely smashing YouTube at the moment. Streaming's where it's at. And I mean, if you want to be big in the streaming game, you got to look at India, man.
Other markets.
Well, how about TV then? So let's think about your iPad,
Indian House.
Channel 5.
Indian
House.
Yeah.
Swipe the lead. Okay. You got BBC iPlayer, you got Channel 5, Netflix, Amazon, Mixer, Twitch, YouTube, Vimeo. What do you think's using the most data on phones?
For TV?
Yeah.
Easy. Netflix. What else is there?
Yeah, I'd say Netflix, but also BBC is in my mind for some reason.
Do you know what, Switch? BBC is the second most. The first, Channel 5, iPlayer apparently rinses your data, probably bad compression. iPlayer is next. Netflix uses some of the least data, actually. I think because they've been doing it for so long, I think they managed to get the streaming. Yeah.
But Netflix has got that feature where you can download episodes, and because that's what I do, so you can watch them on the tube.
I'm on that as well.
Yeah.
I'm on that as well. Shout out to everyone that doesn't actually own their own Netflix account. I ask people.
What's your password?
Yeah. I mean, do you own your Netflix account?
I own mine.
Swiss,
I own
do you own yours?
Check, please.
So you're supporting somebody's visually. You're supporting somebody visually. Yeah. I can't lie. I have a Netflix login, right? But I'm using someone else's because I initially used someone else's, and it's used all of the information of what I've watched to give me playlists. So if I log into my one, it's like shit. It's not for me.
Yeah.
When I log into theirs, it's all the sci-fi that I like to watch, all the anime that I like to watch.
Do you get an allocated amount of how much you can download as a user of the account?
You know what? Yeah, there's a limit.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause I was going to LA or something, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to download. It said, you can't download anymore. You have to delete some stuff. But save yourself some data, man. Download some stuff. You can do that with Spotify as well. Yeah. So, for example, listen to Swipe Delete. You can select download if you're a premium user. On your phone.
Yeah.
And I think you still get the numbers if we stream it anyway. No?
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, look, thanks for killing some time with us, Swiss.
Thank you,
Appreciate
brother.
it. And Funk Butcher, obviously, thank you for coming in the building again.
No problem.
Swipe Delete, out now.
On Houseology.
Put a link in the show description for that. The app as well.
Yeah, Nardaland, which is out now. The demo's out now, and shortly the game should be out, the full game.
Look forward to that. Thanks for killing some time with us, man. Appreciate
and
that.
Stand By Me.
Yeah, Stand By Me. Look out for Stand By Me.
Yes.
Definitely.
Hashtag Stand By Me UKG.
Yes.
Okay, look forward to that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Cheers for killing some time with us,
Bless
man.
up, bro.
Thank you.
Make sure you like and subscribe the podcast. And if you want to get the newsletter, howtokillanow.com/news. In the meantime, stay blessed.